My name is Abhishek Singh and I am recording this video for our Big Data Final project. We took a data set and we did analysis using the Databricks platform. So let's jump to the project first. So this is the data set that we took. This data set is all about the bike share trips from Austin. So it is all about sharing the bikes when we go somewhere. If we want to if we want to go with a bike, we can see the stations, registered stations, and we can pick a bike from there. So that will be the start station, and we can go up to a station where we want to go. This will be the end station, and this is the duration minutes, which will tell the trip time of our trip. And this is the bike ID, and these are the end station and start station ID, and we do have a trip ID as well, for which will define a specific trip. We have a year column as well. So we took this data and we loaded this data into the Databricks infrastructure, and we did some analysis on this. So let's jump to the code. So here it is. We imported some important libraries which are useful to do the analysis and creating the model for this. So we first loaded the file. We converted the data column to the string type to clean the data. So we run this command to see that how many null values are in every column. Like if we see in the bike ID, there are 723 null values. In end station ID, there are 19,500 values, and so on. So we simply ran the command drop, and that will remove all the null values. So we verified this by running the command again, and we can see there are 0 null values in all these columns. So after this, we converted the start time again into timestamp by importing the timestamp from SQL functions and running this command. We can verify this by printing the schema. We can see the start time is of timestamp again. Then we displayed the data to check whether the data has been cleaned or not. As we can see here, the data is clean now and there are no null values. Now let's go to the exploration and visualization part. We imported some libraries like Matplotlib, Pandas, and Seaborn so that it will help in our visualization. We created a Pandas data frame using 2 pandas, and we described the data frame to just have statistics of our data. If you can see the duration minutes, the maximum trip time is 10,981 and the minimum trip time is 0, and the mean trip time is 28.31. It is all about the data. So we tried to showcase the duration minutes by plotting a box plot. As you can see, most of the values are near 0 to 100. Some of them are around 2000 and very few between 4000 to 6000, and few outliers which are from 6000 to 8000, and one value which is above 10,000, which we have seen in the statistics of the data, which is 10,981. Now let's show some visualizations. Here we have used the data to show the top 10 bikes by the time used. So if you can see on the x-axis, these are the bike IDs, and this is the total duration, total trip time. So these are the top bikes which have been used for most of the time. So looking at the data, the total duration minutes is almost same. So we can say by this there is not any specific bike which is preferred over any other bike types. All the bikes are of same type. We can conclude from this visualization. Now the next visualization which we have used is we counted the number of bikes of each bike type. So the bike ID is telling us the type of bike, and the count is telling us the number of bikes with that bike ID. So we can see that all the bike IDs, these are the top 10, and most of the bike IDs have the same number of count, that is somewhere around 1700. So we can say that there is nothing like any bike is preferred over any other bike. All the bikes have the same features, and all bikes are used for almost the equal times. The next visualization here we tried to show is the trip IDs by the most trip time. If you see here on the x-axis, these are the trip IDs, and on the y-axis it shows the time of trip. So if you see, there is one trip ID which has the trip time more than 10,000, which we have already seen in the statistics as well. So these are the top 10 trip IDs which have the top 10 trip times. Sorry for this. So the next visualization which we tried to show is the trip times as per the year. We have the data from 2013 to 2017, and from this data we can easily see that we can easily say that the company just started in the year 2013, looking at the total trip time of 2013, which is around hundreds or something. But from 2013 to 2014, as the company gained popularity, the total trip time is growing exponentially. It is growing like anything. From 14 to 16 as well, it is growing, and 2016 is marked as the highest total trip time year. But again, from 16 to year 2017, it is declining at an alarming rate, and this needs to be addressed by the company. So from this visualization, we can conclude this. So this is the another visualization where I have plotted the trip times as per the month. So on the y-axis we have the total trip times, and on the x-axis we have the months. So we can see the total trip times is maximum in the month of March, and if we look for the lowest, it is in December. So we can justify this by saying that December is a month of vacation where we have Christmas, we have New Year. People usually prefer to remain at their home, and because of winters as well. So if people are not going out, they are resisting to go outside, the chances of using their bike is usually declines. So this might be the reason that the December has lowest trip times. So now I have plotted the two graphs which shows the top 5 stations with the most trip time and the top 5 stations with the least trip time. So here we have 5 stations which are shown with the top 5 trip times, which are almost equivalent, which don't have much difference. But in this graph, if you see the station which has the least trip time, the trip time is around 100, is in hundreds. So something needs to be addressed with this station ID. It might be the possibility that this station is located somewhere in the suburbs or not in the very populated region. So after the visualization part, we ran some models on our data. So first we chose the linear regression model. We imported some necessary libraries, imported these libraries, and we chose the data from the data frame. We choose these columns only, like duration, minutes, month, start, station ID, subscriber type, and year. In the next step, we splitted the data into trend and test into 70:30 ratio. We displayed the data just to check whether the data is correct or not. So in the next column, we created an indexer. What indexer is doing is it is converting the categorical columns to hold a numerical value. Here we are creating the vector assembler, which is creating a vector of input features. So we are taking all these features at the input and creating it into output features. The pipeline, we created the linear regression model with the label column duration features and prediction column prediction. So when we ran the model, we find out that the root mean square value is 69.17. So this is the root mean squared error. So it shows that the model has performed reasonably well. It shows that the average error in predicting the duration minutes is 69%. The R square value, which shows the variance in the data in predicting the duration minutes, is 5. So this also says that the model has not performed really well. Now let's have a look at the predicted and the actual values. If we look at the predicted and actual values, we can see the model is not performed really well, because if you see the predicting values are some 25 and 30 and the actual value is 0. So we can say by this that the model has not really performed well in predicting the values. So these are the residuals, and so after this I tried to plot a graph between the actual values and predicted values. So again, as we saw earlier, the model has not performed well in predicting the values. You can see the prediction values are going somewhere and the actual values are apart. After this, I tried to plot a correlation matrix between the variables to see if there is a relation between the variables. If we look at the heat map, the duration minutes has highest correlation with the subscriber type index, which is not so high, but it is maximum 0.0043. After running the linear regression model, I ran the decision tree classifier on our data. Again, I chose some columns from the data. This time I splitted the data into 80:20 ratio between train and test. Again, I created the indexer, converted the categorical value to numerical and vector assembler, and here I created a object for decision tree classifier. Now one thing here which we'll notice is we are giving max bins is equal to 5000. Now what this max bins is doing is we usually use the parameter max bin and assign a value that is equal to or more than the number of categories in any single feature. So that's why we define the max bins. So here we ran the model. Now if we see the value of actual versus prediction, if you see this column, the actual value of duration minutes is 20 and the prediction value is 17. So somewhere we can say that this model is performed well as compared to the linear regression model. Rest of the values are quite apart, but there are some values which are near to the whose predictions are quite near to the actual value. Now let's evaluate the model. I imported some class to evaluate the model. So the accuracy of the model, you can see the accuracy is 6.14%. This accuracy is of accurating the duration minutes for the data. Let's see the area under ROC curve and area under PR curve. The area under ROC curve is around 69%. So it says, so if we look at the area under ROC curve value, which is 69%, we can say the model has performed well in predicting the trip time. And also the features which you have taken, right, the input features, they have a huge influence in determining the trip time. Let's look at the area under PR curve value. The area under PR curve value is 98%. So this also suggests that the model has performed well in predicting the trip time, duration minutes. And again, it says that the input features that we have selected to the model are crucial in determining the trip time or the duration minutes. So based on the exploratory analysis and running the model, we have reached to some conclusion, that is the correlation matrix suggests that the maximum correlation is between the trip time and the subscriber tab index, and secondly between the model linear regression and decision tree classifier. We can easily say by looking at the area under ROC curve value, area under PR curve value, and the actual versus predicted value, that decision tree classifier has performed really well as compared to the linear regression model. So this was all about our analysis on the data. Thank you so much for your time.